Hello and welcome to our new grammar lesson, independent and dependent clauses. Independent and dependent clauses, lesson 3. By the end of this lesson, you should know what is an independent clause. So what is the meaning of this? We have two main clauses types of clauses we're going to study this lesson. Independent clause, which can stand alone and have a meaning, doesn't need any other phrases or clauses attached to it. An independent clause has a subject and verb and can stand alone as a complete sentence. Okay, what is a dependent clause? A dependent clause is a sentence, is a group of words that has a subject and a verb but cannot stand alone. It needs help. Cannot stand alone as a complete sentence. It is introduced by a conjunction such as before. So at the beginning of the dependent clause, you're going to find something to help the clause. Like what? Like before, if, since, although, and many other conjunction words. So the dependent clause cannot stand alone. It needs help. And at the beginning of each dependent clause, you're going to find a conjunction, a helper, before, if, since, although, and many others. A complex sentence contains, so if I have a dependent clause and independent clause together in one sentence, so I have something called a complex sentence. Complex sentence contains an independent and a dependent clauses. Okay, together in the same sentence. In the following complex sentences, the dependent clause is underlined. The dependent clause is followed by a comma when it comes before the independent clause. So let's read. Lucinda's relatives were in a makeshift boat before they reached America. So let's look at these two clauses. The first one, if I read it, Lucinda's relatives were in a makeshift boat. So I have here, this is the subject and this is the verb, and I have a predicate. And could this sentence stand alone? Does it give complete meaning? Yes. So this is an independent clause, which can stand alone and be a sentence. What about the other one? I have here, this is the first thing to notice. What's this? This is the helper, a conjunction, before. Before they reached America. What? Can I say this only, or can I write this only? Before they reached America, what happened to them? Still here I have a subject, and here I have a predicate, but the sentence is not complete. So this is a dependent clause. Okay. What if I change the order? If I put the dependent clause at the beginning of the sentence, of the complex sentence, before they reached America, and then here a comma. Lucinda's relatives were in a makeshift boat. Okay, so also I can change the order of the two clauses, but if the dependent clause comes at the beginning, a comma has to follow. Let's look at some more examples to make the concept clearer. Write I, this is an I, if the group of words is an independent clause. Write D if it is a dependent clause, and circle the conjunction. Okay, Lucinda's family moved to West New York, New Jersey. Okay, so let's think at this one. Is it independent or dependent? Does it have a meaning on its own or no? Lucinda's family moved to West New York, New Jersey. Yes, they moved, and they are telling us where did they move. So this is an independent clause. It can stand on its own. Number 2. The perilous journey lasted 2 days. If I say perilous means dangerous, journey lasted 2 days. If I say this sentence, do you understand what I'm talking about? Yes, it gives a complete meaning. Here, this is the subject, and here the verb and the predicate. So this is also an independent clause. If the dog has not been found. What about this if? What is it? If is a conjunction. Yes, it's a helper that helps. Dependent clauses. So we have this is a dependent clause. How do you know? If I say, if the dog has not been found, what would have happened? We don't know. Whenever she heard a Spanish song, what does she do? And we never put it in the conjunction list. Please make a conjunction list and write these conjunction words in it. So this is also a dependent clause. Okay, this is the same slide, sorry. Since she lived in an apartment building. Do you want to add since to your conjunction list? Yes, this is a helper word for the dependent clause. Yes, since she lived in an apartment building, what happened to her since then? Okay, number 7. Some homes had cement lawns and paved driveways. Does this give us a complete meaning? I think yes. Some homes, there is no conjunction here. Some is an adjective. Some homes, this is the subject. Had, this is a verb, until the end, this is a predicate. So we have here an independent clause. A complete sentence. It was all too confusing. It was all too confusing. Did you understand anything? Yes, that it was too confusing. So we have here an independent clause. Although he didn't feel like it. Although he didn't feel like it. What about although? I think you should add it to your conjunction list. This is a conjunction that comes at the beginning of dependent clauses. So, although he didn't feel like it, what did he do? The sentence is not complete. So it's a dependent clause. It needs more clarification. It needs another clause. Many people didn't know one another. Yeah, there is many actually is an adjective and it's not a conjunction. And many people, this is the subject, didn't know one another. This is the predicate. And have we understood a full meaning? Yes. So this is another independent clause. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, post them in the discussion room, and see you in the virtual class where we're going to solve more and more questions about the independent and dependent clauses. Thank you.